They all have rules for protecting privacy, but they still make ethicists nervous.
I like to use the analogy of the DNA molecule to a future diary. There's a lot of information in the DNA molecule. The reason I call it a diary, a future diary, is because I think it's that private. I don't think anybody should be able to open up your future diary except you.
One rather bleak vision of where all this could lead is presented in the Hollywood film Gattaca. This is a world where everybody's DNA, everybody's future diary, is an open book. Everyone who can afford to has their children made to spec. But what happens to the poor slob who was conceived the old-fashioned way?
I'll never understand what possessed my mother to put her faith in God's hands rather than those of her local geneticist. 10 fingers, 10 toes, that's all that used to matter. Not now. Now, only seconds old, the exact time and cause of my death was already known.
Neurological condition, 60% probability. Attention deficit disorder, 89% probability. Heart disorder, 99% probability. Life expectancy, 30.2 years.
30.2 years. The nurse seems to know precisely what's going to happen to this baby, which is ridiculous, right? Never happen. Or is it possible that one day we will be able to look with disturbing clarity into our future 10, 20, even 70 years ahead?
That is one possible future, where this becomes so routine that at birth, everybody gets a profile. It goes right to their medical record. One copy goes to the FBI, so we have an identification system for all possible crimes in the United States. One copy goes where? To the grade school, to the high school, to the college, to the employer, to the military. Like a horrific future. Although I have to say there are many in the biotech industry and the medical profession who think that's a terrific future.
In fact, a lot of the technology already exists now, today. These guys in the funny suits are making gene chips. The little needles are dropping tiny, nearly invisible bits of DNA onto glass slides. And where did the DNA come from? From babies, thousands of them. Each chip can support 80,000 different DNA tests.
So a single chip, in principle, will allow you to test, say, 1,000 babies for 80 different human diseases. So within a few minutes, you can have a readout for thousands or even tens of thousands of babies in a single experiment.
Already, babies are routinely tested for a handful of diseases, but with gene chips, everybody could be tested for hundreds of conditions.
Knowing is great, knowing early is even better, and that's really what the technology allows us to do.
Well, taking a test and knowing is great for the baby, anybody really, as long as there's something you can do about it.
But think about this, because sometimes there may be a test, but it might take 20 years or 50 years to find a cure. So you could take the test and you could learn that there is a disease coming your way, but you can't do a thing about it. Do you still want to know? Or you could take the test, but the test won't say that you're going to get the disease. It'll simply say that you may get a disease. And as you know, there is a big difference between you will and you may.